This state's snowpack problem could snowball into a multi-year workforce crisis. Our Mark Salinger talked with community leaders in Summit County who are worried that blue-collar workers who can't make a living there in this brutal winter might leave and not come back next season.
January in Summit County doesn't usually look like this.
This winter has been hard because we're still kind of waiting for winter to begin.
The dry, calm mountains outside
It's organized chaos.
have led to a rush in here.
Okay.
The Family and Intercultural Resource Center in Dillon moves fast these days.
I don't remember a season this bad.
Volunteers like Karen Bacon are feeding more than 700 families a week at the food pantry. The number has grown by around 25% compared to this time last year.
It's a snowball effect, so to speak.
The problems started snowballing when the snow stopped falling.
Everyone is struggling to get the hours that they need because the tourists just aren't here like they normally are. Because the snow's not here, and so people aren't coming up as much.
Brianne Snow runs the Resource Center, which also provides health and financial support services.
We are seeing people walk in here that have never walked in here before, who have never really needed help before, and it is a last resort in order to stay in our community.
Colorado's ski towns rely on the people in service industries to keep them running. Those people rely on the tourists that visit for money, and those tourists want snow. A snowless winter has now led to a seemingly endless number of orders for free produce and free food inside the pantry.
Sometimes people are struggling here and they just don't know what to do and they just don't see a path forward. And so what happens is they kind of quietly slip away from our community. They pack their car and they leave, and that is a piece of our workforce.
Snow comes and goes,
But it's the industry up here,
but Summit County will always rely on its people.
as they're our backbone of our community.
This room offers a little help until the mountains are covered in white again.
We're seeing people leave, and so we are trying to give them a pathway to be able to stay here.
Well done.
Summit County is, of course, one of the most expensive places to live in Colorado. The goal of the food pantry there is to save families a couple $100s on food so that they can focus on other things like pay rent and stay in the community, even if they are working. This year, they're serving more than 150 more households than they were in January of last year, Kyle.
You know, Mark, I was struck by that when I talked to them recently, how different their messaging is than a lot of food banks in the state, where they're telling folks, like, even if you have a job or two or three, this help is for you so that you can pay your other bills if you're not getting hours, because too many folks in the community assume the help is for somebody else.
Exactly. This is people who are continuing to work. They just need a little bit of help to get across and make ends meet. Of course, you often see this or more need during shoulder seasons up in the high country. This is the middle of January. This is supposed to be one of the busiest times of the year. Now we're into February even, and it's still that difficult.
Yeah, right. When the spring comes, work is still going to be slow up there. So
Even
it's gonna
slower.
be tough. All right, Mark Salinger, thank you.